Hello. Today, I want to talk to you about the IELTS writing test, task 1. And I want to provide an approach for writing about charts and graphs for task 1. Let's get started. A lot of times for writing task 1 with IELTS, you have to describe a chart like this. For this chart, we have the points scored in periods 1 and 2, and 4 teams, Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, and Team 4. So the first thing that I would do to write about this chart is to write about the things that are outside of the chart. Points scored would be first. I'd explain about the 2 periods, and then I would mention that there are 4 teams. So I want to very generally describe what's on the outside of the chart. Let's see what that looks like in a sentence. The line chart below compares points scored by 4 teams in period 1 and period 2. So here I've talked about just the things outside of the chart. I haven't talked about this stuff in the middle yet. Next, I would include a general sentence describing the overall trend in the chart. If I look at this chart, I can see the light blue is mostly higher than the dark blue, which means that in period 2, most of the teams, not all of the teams, scored more than in period 1. So 3 out of the 4 scored more points in period 2 than period 1. So that's just my general sentence describing the overall trend of the chart. So to continue, I need to provide specific details to be able to get a high band score. So let me start by talking about Team 1. In period 1, Team 1 showed the most improvement from period 1 to period 2. That's a little confusing. But what I'm trying to do is get a general sentence about Team 1. So Team 1 we can see here is period 1, and here is period 2. So I want to give this point here and this point here. So Team 1 improved from 25 points in period 1 to 85 points in period 2. So I need to show this big change. So I have a general sentence followed by a specific sentence with the specific numbers. It's not enough just to say that Team 1 improved. I have to provide the numbers to show how much they improved. Let's look at Team 2 now. Team 2, I have the general information. Team 2 was the only team to do better in period 1 than in period 2. So here we could see is period 1 and period 2. So Team 2 did better in the first period. So the specific information in period 1, Team 2 scored 30 points. However, the point total fell to 25 points in the second period. Now for teams 3 and 4, it's possible to combine those because they had a similar trend. So with the general information, both teams 3 and 4 achieved improved point totals in period 2 compared to period 1. The specific information that supports that, Team 3 had the most disappointing first period as they only scored 15 points. Team 3's performance jumped to 30 points in period 2. And for Team 4, the specific information. Team 4 enjoyed a 20-point improvement from period 1 to period 2. In period 1, Team 4 scored 35 points, and in period 2, the team improved to 65 points. To get a high band score, you really need to make sure you have the specific information, the points for each period, because you can't show a change or an improvement if you only show one number. You have to show both numbers. So the last thing that you need to think about with task 1 is you have to include an overview. If you don't have an overview of the general trend of the chart or graph, you can't score higher than a 5, a band 5 on the writing task 1. So here I can see probably the most important thing would be that in period 2, most of the teams did better and only one team did worse in period 2. That's the idea I need to have in my overview. Let's see what that looks like. Overall, 75% of the teams showed improved performance from period 1 to period 2. Only Team 2 scored fewer points in the second period compared to the first period. Team 1 had the strongest second period and the most overall points. So this would be my overview for all of this chart. I would put this at the end of the composition so that the examiner reading your composition can see it and doesn't forget that you actually put it. I would also include the word overall or in conclusion as a signal to the examiner that, yes, I know I need to have an overview and here it is. So once again, this is a method or an approach to task 1 for the IELTS. And I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me with a comment or an email. Have a great day today.